Now y'all season. Let's get to it. Let's get to y'all season. Y'all schedule.
Absolutely.
All right. So we got the schedule up, and y'all won the division last year. So obviously, out of all of y'all division foes, y'all have the tougher schedule because y'all played the number ones from last year. But
Mhm.
let's go through it. We're gonna go through each, like just like last year. We're gonna go through each team, and you give us your prediction on who wins or not. And obviously, we're gonna skip the preseason because that's not real. All right. But it
Yeah.
starts off at home against Atlanta.
At
All right.
home or away at Atlanta. At
Sorry,
Atlanta.
at Atlanta. Sorry, at
Right. You're
Atlanta.
right.
You're right. You got it
Yeah.
right. You got off on the road twice.
All
So
good.
at
All good.
Atlanta at 1 o'clock. How we looking?
So the Buccaneers were 0-2 against Atlanta last season. Kirk Cousins had a Hall of Fame game against the Bucs last season, and then a Thursday night thriller that just absolutely tore my heart out. Uh, Unfortunately, I do think the Falcons and the Buccaneers are going to split this season.
Okay.
So I do have the Buccaneers starting off with a loss on the road to start the season.
Okay. Okay. And okay, let's go to the Texans.
Houston, I got the Buccaneers winning. So the last time the Buccaneers visited Houston was C.J. Stroud's rookie year, and he absolutely walked them down the field for a game-winning drive. I don't know if it was his first
Mm,
game-winning drive of his NFL career or not, but I think 2 games in a dome back to back, the Bucs offense is still going to be flying around, and defense kind of finally gets it together against a pretty decent C.J. Stroud and the Texans offense.
and this is a Monday night game, by the way. It will be the first of a doubleheader.
Yep.
All
So
right.
Bucks on prime time is always scary. They got 4 of them this year,
Mm.
but we'll see how it goes. But I like that as a good revenge game for the Bucks.
All right. So let's move on. Y'all play at home versus the Jets. This is a Hassan Reddick revenge game. So how you
Mhm.
feeling about this game?
I'm pumped for this game. First game at home of the season. 50th season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to be rocking the white and creamsicle jerseys. So I think it's about time we win a game when we wear the throwback jerseys. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go. We're 0-2 in the last 2 seasons wearing the throwback creamsicle jerseys. So it's about time we get a win wearing them. So I got a W against the Jets and Justin Fields.
Okay. If Justin Field plays, you got a little
If
toe in
Justin
right now.
plays, yeah, if Justin.
All right. Follow those kindness. All right. So week 4, it never fails. They always
It
line
never
y'all up
fails.
with
It
Philly,
never fails. It
and they
never
always
fails.
come to Tampa Bay for some reason. So
Exactly. Hey
so
man, I don't need many history books to tell what happens when Philly comes to Tampa. So I'm gonna go with the win in Tampa. It's obviously a great game, great team, Philly defending Super Bowl champs. But when we're in Tampa and the birds come to town, there's something about Tampa that just kind of lights up, and it means more. Even though it's week 4, it means a little more. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the Bucks that one.
didn't y'all play in week 4 last year?
Yeah, it was honestly, it was
That was
either week.
early.
It might have been like 5 or 6 at the latest, but it was right around the same exact. It could have been week 4. It really could have been.
It was definitely early.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's probably like week 5 or it's probably week 6. You're right. Or
yeah,
week
it was
5.
early though. You're right. It was right around the same time.
Okay, cool. And then I know the chat's gonna be crazy that week, and that's a 1 o'clock game. And
Yep.
then after that, you got the Seahawks in Seattle 4 o'clock game.
Yeah,
So
I like what Seattle's doing this year. Sam Darnold. Uh, while he's not the most flashiest guy, I think he proved in Minnesota last year that he can be serviceable. They got the addition of Cooper Cup, so I like what Seattle's trying to do. Unfortunately, I just think for Seattle, they're going to run into a problem with Tampa that day. So I got
mm,
the Bucks winning that game.
okay, okay, okay. Now we talking about the chats. The chats might be that day too. This next game, y'all go back home and y'all hosting Dave's 49ers. Talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, hosting Dave's 49ers. I've been waiting for John Lynch, the GM of the 49ers and Buccaneers Hall of Famer, to throw the Bucks a bone because they've just absolutely crushed us the last few meetings. But I'm going to go ahead and give this one to the 49ers again.
Okay.
Um, I think the 49ers are, maybe gotta take a step, not a step back, but a step back into what they are. And a healthy Christian McCaffrey should, help them do that. So I'm gonna give this one to the 49ers.
Okay. All right. So right now, you guys y'all are 4-2 at this point, and y'all are going to Detroit. And these be battles. These are I know last year you had y'all losing to Detroit, and y'all ended up winning against Detroit.
Yeah.
So how you feel about this game?
Yeah, no, I mean, Tampa played great in that game last season. Definitely had that one as an early loss, and I think at one point Detroit was, 10-1, and Tampa might have been their only loss. But
Mm-hmm.
I gotta give, while I don't think the Lions may be the Lions of the past this season, I might be expecting a little bit of a slide from them, but I'm
Okay.
still going to give this one to the Lions just due to the nature of being up in Detroit. Uh, they're a good football team, and just the way the NFL schedule works, you can't win them all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was one point where Philly and Detroit were 1-2, and y'all were the only two. Y'all were the only team that gave both of them. That gave both of them their last loss.
Nice.
The Falcons beat them too.
And then got embarrassed by Bo Nix in between.
I just got paid Bo Nix after I beat Detroit.
Yeah, something like it was crazy.
Y'all just got a big win, and y'all lost Bo Nix. It's crazy. All right, so let's move along to New Orleans, your second division game. And y'all play in New Orleans. How you feeling?
Yeah, so I can just go in a little more of a tangent here with it being a division, but I think the Saints are probably going to be last place in the NFC South this year. I think the Panthers might finally jump them in those standings, but I do have the Buccaneers beating the Saints this time, and next time we'll get to it. But I think the Saints are the one team this year that the Buccaneers in the division beat twice.
Okay. Yeah, the Saints, man, they're not looking too good right now. All
Yeah, no.
right. And then you got a bye week, so you get your rest. You got a week 9 bye week. And at your bye week, you're sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3. And then you come back. And speaking of Teddy from earlier, y'all back at home against the Patriots. How you
Yep.
feeling?
Yeah, so this is one of those games you circle because you just don't really have any idea. For me, the Buccaneers have been pretty great coming out of the bye weeks in the last few seasons. But this just kind of feels like one of those games that, Drake May is a good young quarterback. The team is getting a little better. I think they could potentially, I don't think they're going to be dead last in the AFC East. I don't know if they're going to be quite as good as the Dolphins, but if they finish second, it wouldn't maybe shock me. But I'm respecting the Patriots this year, and it's one of those games that is just to the nuance of the NFL schedule. I'm going to give this one to the Patriots.
Okay. And also, I forgot to mention that Detroit Lions game is the first of another doubleheader on Monday night.
Yep, another Monday night.
So, all right. And then after the Patriots, you stand in the LC East, but this time you're going to visit Buffalo. Y'all got some tough opponents on the schedule this year.
We
So, how
do,
you
we
feel
do.
about this?
I'm gonna go with the kind of the crisscross here, where everyone's expecting the Bucks to lose because they just lost to the Patriots, and then they come back and they get a good one against the Bills. I think the last few years the Bucks have played the Bills. It's always been a good matchup. I don't think, obviously Josh Allen is Josh Allen, but I don't think that they do anything over the top that makes them so much better than Tampa. So I'm going to give the Bucks a win against Buffalo after coming off the loss against New England.
Okay, and Buffalo in mid-November.
In
It
November,
snows sometimes
early
mid-November.
November.
So all right, and then y'all stay on the road, and this is a Sunday night game, and y'all play the Los Angeles Rams, the newly addition Devontae Adams Rams. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, this is one of those games where I'm going to have to give the Buccaneers a close win. I still think Matt Stafford is a great quarterback, and I still think the Rams are a good team. But, if you want to be a playoff football team and make a splash towards the end of your year, this is after beating the Bills and then going to the Rams, I feel like you're setting yourself up for an identity test. So beat the Rams there, and you're 2-1 coming out of the bye and going into an easier part of your schedule.
Okay. All right. So a W. So back-to-back wins on Bills and Rams. That's
Mhm.
good. That's a good. You lose to the Patriots, and you say, you know what? We're gonna remind the folks that we still in here, and I beat the Bills and Rams. I like that. All right. So now you're going back home. You playing the Cardinals at 1 o'clock. How you feel about that?
I'm going to give the Buccaneers a win there. I like the Cardinals. I've always been a Kyler Murray fan. Uh, Trey McBride, one of the better tight ends. Marvin Harrison Jr., young wide receiver talent. A defense that's not out of this world bad. I'm still giving the Buccaneers a win, but I'm looking for the Cardinals to not be as bad as they were last season.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully, man. Kyler Murray, man. I feel like it's like if they're not good, they might move on from Kyler Murray after the season. So you got that as a
Yeah,
win. All
I
right.
do. I do.
All right, back to the division. Another division game. So they are cramming your schedule towards the end of the season with division games.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got the Saints at 1 o'clock at home this time. I know you mentioned the sweep earlier, so it's a dub.
Yep, it's a dub. We're going to take care of them. I think, like I said, I just think the Saints are probably the weakest constructed roster on paper at the moment. Um, the Panthers have played us tough so long for the last few years, so I think it's about time they get one from us, and maybe we just take over the Saints this year.
All right, let's get it. Get some gumbo while you out there. All right. Um, the Falcons. Now they love that y'all Thursday night matchup from last
Yeah,
year so
it's
much.
crazy. It's
They put y'all
crazy.
back on Thursday night, and that was a crazy game.
It
That game was
was.
the OT, right? Yeah,
Yes,
he went to
yes,
OT. Kirk
it
Cousins had
did.
like 500 yards that one day.
Yeah,
It
Bucky
was
Irving fumbled in overtime, I think, and then they got the
crazy.
ball back. Yeah,
Yeah, and like y'all were going back and forth. It was a crazy game.
yeah,
So
no doubt.
and just like that game, it's in Atlanta,
Hmm.
8:15 Thursday night. How you feeling about it? I mean, you lost the first game of the season to the Falcons, so
Yeah. So this game's at home. This game's in Tampa. Um,
oh, I'm tripping.
but yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
at
You good
home.
though?
Yeah.
You good though? We'll get them. But yeah, 1-1 against the Falcons this year. So
Hmm.
they get us early in the year when we're not, really ready to play football. Unfortunately, it's week 1. Someone's got to lose. But I think they beat us at their crib, and we beat them at our crib.
Let's get it. All right. So this time they return the favor and y'all at home. You're right. And now with your third division game in a row, which is crazy. I don't know what's up with the schedule. Like,
I know
third
it's crazy.
division game in a row, y'all playing the Panthers for the first time of the season in
Yep.
week 16. The improved Panthers, I should say. How
Yep.
you feeling about that? And it's in Carolina also.
Yeah, so this is the like you said, unfortunately, a lot of these games coming down late in the season with the nuance of the NFC South we've had over the last few seasons. These are all could be or probably will be meaningful games for everybody. But the Panthers, like I said, I think they're going to get a little better this year. So I'm going to give them a 1-1 split this year. So I'll give
Okay.
them the win. I'll give them the win this year. So Bucks lose in Carolina right before Christmas.
That ends your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game win streak.
Hmm.
That ends the win streak. And the chest might be pumping this game. You going to Miami? I mean, that's a fun place to go in December, right? December
Absolutely.
28th. Y'all going to Miami and y'all play the Dolphins early game, so you got no time to party afterwards if you want to at 1 o'clock. So, how you feeling about this game?
I feel good. The Dolphins have always been the obviously in-state rivalry along with Jacksonville. So we haven't played them a ton recently, to my knowledge. I think the last time they played, the Bucks won pretty convincingly. Uh, but with that said, I think the Dolphins are going to win this one. If Tua is healthy and Tyreek
Mm,
Hill's healthy, and if this is a healthy Dolphins team later in the year, I think their pass game and the Bucks still don't have the pass game figured out. I think this is a problem where the pass game could overmatch the secondary and the defense. So I'm going to give that to the Dolphins late in the season.
okay. And then we end the season at home against Carolina. Obviously, we don't know the time where it's going to be at. So, and this could be for the division. If I'm not saying the Panthers, but y'all win this game, y'all could win the division. You never know. So, who wins that game? Last game of the season.
Yep. So that's the second part of that 1-1 split. So I'm going to give the Bucks the win at home, and that should wrap it up for the year. I got the Bucks going 11-6, 4-2 in the division, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, you had 11. You had 10-7 last year and 4-2 last year. You know, and with the 10-7, I'm not sure you division. Where were y'all last year in y'all division?
We won.
3-1. Okay, y'all lost it.
Oh,
Wow.
division record.
Oh, three can be 3-1.
No, 3-3. Either 3 or 0-2 against the Falcons, 2 against the Saints, and 4-2.
4-2. You called it. You said 10-7 last year and 4-2 in the division. Y'all went 10-7 and went 4-2. Now you saying 11-6 and 4-2. So I mean, he was a prophet last year, y'all. Let's see if he be one this year. You know. So all right. So let's move on to the last segment, and we're going to talk about bold